Packers. Oh, and I was gonna say Carolina. I meant Cardinals. Cut
You
it
in
out.
your dreams,
Yeah, I
maybe.
would. Yeah, I wish it was Packers and Carolina in the NFC Championship.
Well, I'll say this before you lament your fates.
Okay,
We had the Carolina and Seattle game. We called it. It was going to be game of the week. No, this ended up being game of the week right here.
it
This
is.
was the best game of the weekend,
It
bar none.
it was not only the best game of the weekend, it was the best game of the entire damn playoffs so far.
Yeah, so far, yeah, definitely. And before we jump to that ending,
hmm
you got anything you want to throw in about that performance?
Um, I don't know, man. Both teams did so excellent. That's why if Packers were gonna lose, at least they lost the way that they did in a way, respectably. Like they fought hard for it, not like if you watch the Chiefs and the Patriots video where the Chiefs just kind of gave up at the end and
Right,
looked lackluster about it. Uh,
right.
I Man, they fought so hard, and I guess if you really want me to start on the complaint end, the refs. It, it
That's been all year, man.
it's been all
All
year, but you
year.
know what's even worse about it? What, back in 2009, I think, when Rodgers made the playoffs as a wild card and he got face masked and the refs didn't catch that. And now you got
Right.
Jeff Janis got defensive pass interference on, like, they showed it replay
That
at
was
least a dozen
bad.
times. Yeah.
It was
I mean,
bad.
it
Yeah.
was clear cut. Grab the shoulder, turn him around, no call. It's like, ooh,
I remember I
that
sent you a text
stung. That stung.
when I saw that happen. I'm like, so are the Packers about to lose to Arizona in the playoffs again because of a no call?
Yeah. And
And
they,
then
they
like
kind of did.
2 seconds later, I'm like, or Aaron Rodgers will just say, I'm gonna throw a Hail Mary into the end zone. Fuck it. Like
Yeah.
um, the thing was the game actually really picked up. The first half was pretty defensive
Yeah, it was.
because I think it was 7-6 at halftime.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, seven
Yeah.
six.
So then all of a sudden it's like the offense has just woke up, you know,
Mhm.
and it got really kind of back and forth. I mean, I think Arizona had the lead pretty much the whole game, but it was Green Bay was answering though. It was shot for shot, just
No, Green Bay was leading the half, and then they're leading all the way up until either the end of
you're
the
right.
third
Right.
or it got to the beginning of the fourth quarter. Then Arizona finally took the lead back, and
No,
then
at halftime it was 6-7 Cardinals, right? Yeah, yeah. It was Cardinals had the seven because they had the touchdown.
oh yeah, you're right. You're right.
Yeah, and then I think is when Green Bay pulled up, and so it was kind of back and forth. But yeah, shot for shot, they just kept going, and it was. I mean, the way it ended was I felt like whoever would have got the ball in OT would have been the team that won.
Yeah.
I mean, whoever got the ball first, it just felt like either team was going to get into the end zone. So that Hail Mary though, who I don't know another quarterback that's thrown two successful Hail Mary touchdowns in one season.
No.
Like I can't remember it happening.
I. That's why, when it was all said and done, in the overtime thing, which, even if you want to break that down, before we even get to the Hail Mary play and everything, what I want to say is as much as the Packers defense has been like the number one reliance all season long, even when their offense couldn't find their niche for the longest time, at least Packers
Right.
defense played pretty damn well. And who would think to lose into overtime because of the fucking defense allowing Larry Fitzgerald to go that one play?
Well, they pretty much got burned on a blitz, right? I mean, that's what it.
Well,
I mean, they were putting pressure on Carson Palmer, and they almost had him, man.
yeah.
Like
And he ran
they,
into his own guy. He ran into his
yeah,
own defender, and nobody could seem to get him. But if they watch the replay, Larry Fitzgerald, as soon as the ball was snapped, he was wide open. Nobody followed him. And then
Yeah,
like he went up a little bit and he cut across and nobody followed him across the field. So when Carson Palmer, when all that chaos was happening out when he escaped the
right,
pocket, he just
right.
found Larry. He goes, "Oh, here's an easy throw."
Well,
And he
thank
did
God it's
like
Larry out there.
yeah, exactly. Well, realistically, all of his receivers are great though.
Right,
Like he could
right,
throw it to
but
anybody and they're going to catch it. And that's honestly what.
Larry's quick though. I don't know if anyone else. I don't know how many of his other receivers wouldn't have got caught.
Yeah,
Until because
it
he
it
almost
was
got
just
caught earlier.
it was just broken, and that's the thing too. If they would have just fucking sacked him, like that would
Yeah.
have, who would
See,
have known what had happened at overtime since then?
I don't think it was a bad play call. I mean, someone should have been guarding Larry, but I mean, as far as
Yeah, the
I mean,
execution
because
just
they
got
almost
weird.
yeah, it just Carson Palmer just made a play flat out, and
Yeah,
then Larry Fitzgerald made an even bigger play.
yeah,
And that's the bottom line. It wasn't like the defense had a breakdown and a blown coverage. They were trying to they did a blitz and got burned basically. You
pretty
know,
much. Yeah,
that's the risk you run when
and
that
then on
happens.
top of that too, I think once the throw was in the air,
Yeah,
no one hit up. The reason why Larry Fitzgerald got to go all those extra yards is I think everybody who was at least back there, like, I don't think anybody believed it. You know, like, oh, he's never gonna
yeah,
get that. Like, what the fuck is he doing? And also, like, shit, he has the ball. And then it was just, no one knew
yeah.
what to do from there. And
Yeah, it's like almost like it's like they were a spectator at that point. Like, oh wait, I'm playing the game.
yeah, kinda,
Like,
right.
um, it was it was a crazy finish, craziest finish I've ever seen.
Yeah, it truly was. And honestly, too, the little shuffle pass to Larry Fitzgerald to win the game. Perfect
Yeah,
play.
yeah, it
That's
was.
a play that no team, it's not even the Green Bay Packers, no team would have expected something like that. And it was perfect. It was really good on Arizona's part, and I gotta give them a lot of credit. And you know, I mean, they got a tough game against Carolina, but if Arizona does go to the Super Bowl, I wouldn't be disappointed if they won it all because I think Carson Palmer proved himself this year, especially to be as good as what he really is, and especially, I mean, Larry Fitzgerald, I think deserves a Super Bowl ring of how good he is. I mean, who who in their right mind hates Larry Fitzgerald? I mean, come on,
Right.
he's like the Donald Driver of the Cardinals. Like, who hated Donald Driver the whole time he ever played? Nobody hates Donald Driver. Nobody hates Larry Fitzgerald. It's just kind of like,
You're right. They need more haters, man. Fuck Donald Driver. No, no, you're right though. I was it? I can't remember which source it was. I saw it off, but they're like, give that man a ring, and they're showing the play.
hmm Did you see the sign of that Vikings fan that was in the crowd? He said, "I bought this ticket before the field goal." That was pretty damn good.
I like to think that person bought it during the game, like right before, like literally like right before it, and then it happened, and
Yeah, that was pretty
they
damn funny.
already. That was the only fucking dude that was not in green or red.
No, what's weird is I saw that picture again. I was looking more closely. There was a guy in a Pittsburgh Steelers shirt to the left of him, and then there was a guy wearing it was either Buffalo Bills or like a Patriot shirt behind it. I'm like, what the fuck is going on in this section? Like, there's no one here.
Oh, you wanna talk about this?
What?
Does that remind you of anything?
Oh, yeah. The you only
The
had one
non-flip,
job.
the non-flip.
Here's the thing. If I'm realistically, no matter which way they would have called it, someone would have been upset. Obviously Packers got the shit out of the stick on that one. But if he would have said, like, if he would have flipped it up and just said, "Yeah, well, that's just the way it landed. I'm sorry I didn't flip," and then they gave Packers the choice to receive, and then when Arizona would have been pissed. So it was a lose-lose situation for that ref no matter what. So I can't put
Right.
much like blame on him. But I guess the question is, and I'm assuming that the ref knows more than I do. I didn't know that was the thing, that the coin actually had to flip, or
Yeah,
that.
I think that is a rule that it has the flip.
Oh, yeah. It makes sense and
Yeah,
everything.
because you could rig it obviously if you didn't flip it.
Yeah, yeah. Good point. Uh, I don't know. That
The
was just
NFL
weird.
stood behind the refs call though, and
I
I
did
think
too.
that's okay. It's really a non-issue. Aaron Rodgers is kind of irritated about it, but that's understandable anyway after that
But you
loss.
know what? There's so many different things before that flip that could have happened. For instance, Sam Shields could have caught that interception and they would have gotten a touchdown and Packers would have just won the game, right then and there. Or, uh, you know,
Or the Cardinals could have not committed a penalty on Patrick Peterson's 100-yard run.
yeah,
It was a
exactly.
interception.
Yeah, that like something like that could have happened.
Uh,
They could have sacked Carson Palmer, and instead of giving it to Larry Fitzgerald for that play. No, like there was so many other factors and like very very little plays, but huge in the long run that could have turned the tide either way. Or even the play where Randall Cobb got hurt, which by the way, he was coughing up blood.
he had a bruised lung.
Yeah, and that was great. Like, and he kind of freaked out a little bit. They showed him on the field, and like as soon as the blood started coming, he's like, "Oh my god!" He's like, "I have internal bleeding. This is fucked." That like,
Right.
I would freak out a little bit too. I'm like, "Oh Jesus, that's not normal." But
Had to be affecting his breathing too.
oh, I'm
He had a
sure.
bruised lung.
And the worst part of it, he gets injured that play. It was an amazing one-handed catch, and he gets called back,
Right.
like something like
Right.
that. Packers could have had an early touchdown right there and everything. So there's a whole bunch of stuff that could have contributed differently towards that game. And
Cobb might not have been hurt, and it could have changed the game. So yeah,
even if Cobb going out, man, Aberdarius and Jeff Janis
they still
really
felt
it
good.
just became amazing in this game. Jeff Janis especially. And this is
Right.
where we can transition into the Hail Mary plays. And it wasn't just the Hail Mary to the touchdown. It was two fucking Hail Mary plays. It started out on their like 3 yard line or 4 yard line, and just boom downfield to Jeff Janis.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden,
Uh,
like 4 plays later, boom downfield to Jeff Janis for a touchdown. And it was funny. Our friend Matt pointed out, he's like, Aaron Rodgers just drove it downfield all the way to the end zone in 2 plays. It's like, yeah, it's true.
I was watching that game at Buffalo Wild Wings. I've never heard a bar that had nothing at stake in a game erupt quite like that.
Yeah.
Like when that Hail Mary happened, like it was a really. I wish I had that reaction recorded to send you. 'Cause
There
like,
have been, I've seen a few reaction recordings of that play. And same thing, there's like a bunch of, like, I don't think they're even from Wisconsin, and people were just going
yeah,
crazy over it because, I mean, the whole Miracle and Motown thing, that was damn impressive. You do it again in the playoffs,
yeah,
I don't even know. I'm almost speechless about it because, first of all, I want to know where they're going to call this Hail Mary. They already have the Miracle of Motown.
right.
What do they call this?
Well, nothing now.
Yeah, and that's what I said too. What the worst part about the Packers losing is that Hail Mary is going to get completely swept under the rug, and no one
Yeah.
like it's going to get a little bit of highlight. But think of how huge that play would have been all over the news if Packers would have won that game.
Well, it's gonna be like the was it Curse that made that crazy ass catch in the Super Bowl last
Yeah,
year?
yeah,
Like no one talks about that because the next play was an interception.
exactly.
So
Because I remember
two
we
plays.
talked about that when Curse got that catch. I said this is gonna be the play of the whole game. This is gonna be a play of the Super Bowl,
it's
and
the
no
helmet
one
catch.
talks about it.
It looked like it was gonna be the helmet catch part 2, basically.
Yeah, yeah,
Like Brady was gonna lose another one because of some crazy ass catch, but he won one because of some crazy ass catch. But anyway, I think at the end of the day though, the Chiefs did like once they got the ball in OT, they did what they had to do. They needed to get into the end zone and not give Aaron Rodgers a chance to win the game.
the Chiefs or the Cardinals?
I mean the Chiefs, my bad, the Cardinals. Yeah,
I-
the Chiefs didn't do what they needed to do at all. The Cardinals did what they needed to do, and they didn't give Aaron Rodgers a chance to win the game. Like, the Hail Mary was his last play,
yeah.
so they made sure that he didn't get a chance to do some shit like that again.
Well, yeah, exactly. They said like, okay, now we know his full potential. And here's the thing, with Aaron Rodgers making that Hail Mary, last time we did it in Detroit, that was the last play of the game. Now you go
Right.
into overtime, you are you going to tell me that if Aaron Rodgers gets the ball again after throwing that kind of a play, that he's not going to be so fucking fired up that he was just going to be unstoppable from there on out? I think so. I think if Rodgers would have had a chance to get the ball, that he would have had so much confidence under his belt and had so much momentum going that he would have just went all the way to the end zone, just nonstop.
Probably so.
Because
Hey,
that was the biggest play of his life, you know, like
yeah.
his entire
Yeah.
career. Somehow he managed to upstage his last Hail Mary, which is weird. It was crazy. It was the craziest play I've seen maybe in the playoffs. It was the craziest play I've seen come from a quarterback from the Packers, and the fact that you already mentioned it, he's done it twice in a single season. If this guy doesn't get any more credit, if he gets more bashing on like on ESPN or whatever else of like how he's having a down year, I'm like, please explain to me what other quarterback does shit like that, because I haven't seen it.
You're right. The last thing I want to say about this is Mason Crosby is probably very relieved he made that extra point.
Oh, so that he has still a perfect season.
No, just
Oh,
imagine
so
if
to
he
tie
missed
it up.
it.
Oh,
No
right.
one would have been talking about Blair Walsh anymore.
Yeah.
If he would have missed that extra point. We were all joking about him. Like, if this guy misses this kick, he's going to be even more shit on than Blair Walsh was.
Well, it was funny because right before he went up for it, they were showing that he was like 36 for 36 in extra points. And he's
Right.
one of the only 5 kickers in the NFL to not miss an extra point this entire
Right.
season. And I'm like, God damn it. If you miss a year.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he did. Perfect season.
Perfect season. So, which is crazy because in 2012, people wanted him fired for.
Well, and then you think about how many extra points were missed this season, too.
Yeah.
More than ever that I can recall because they pushed it back.
Right.
Yep, we'll end this on a note about a kicker.
Right. Yeah, actually, no. I'm going to end it on a note of.
Okay, good call.
Thanks.
Fuck kickers.
I'm going to end it on a note to at least say one final, just Packers season. They had ups and downs. The first 6 weeks were amazing. You still made the playoffs. I believed in you guys during the playoffs, and I at least want to say that at least thanks for a great season again. I know you didn't win the division 5 years in a row this year, but it was still good, and I'm hoping that the small things that need to be fixed, especially the offense momentum, gets fixed next year, and I'm excited to see what they can do next year because Rodgers can obviously show what he can still do despite maybe a beat up team. And Jordy Nelson's going to be back next year too, and so I think everybody in Wisconsin is going to be super excited about that. And I guess I just want to say it was an enjoyable season again, and I don't know. I guess again to kind of relate to the very beginning is that at least I know you guys didn't come up with the winning drive and everything, or just the win in general to move on, but you still put up the best playoff game of the 2015 season, and at least you can have that under your belts.
All right.
So
Getting all
anyway,
misty eyed.
what?
Getting all misty eyed over here.
No. Oh yeah, and make sure to sign James Jones next year and get rid of Demonte Adams. That's all I have to say. I know my backseat coaching isn't going to mean shit, but please get rid of Devontae Adams. Keep James Jones. I would keep him Wisconsin. I'm going to make if you want to see James Jones be on the Packers, go on Twitter, Facebook, and put hashtag James Jones stay in Wisconsin or something like that. I don't know.
He likes hoodies. I like hoodies. They're cool.
Yeah, we're both wearing hoodies.
Yeah.
I bet me, you, and James could be really good friends. We'd all wear hoodies together and hang out.
Yeah, hold hands.
Maybe. All right. So make sure to follow us on Facebook and Twitter. This links in the description below. Make sure to watch our divisional picks this round. Watch how accurate we picked from the previous round and everything, and make sure to watch our other playoff games because we have other things to talk about. This is probably our longer video considering that the hometown is finally done.
Maybe don't watch that last pick video.
Why, you have better picks than I did.
But they were still pretty bad.
All right, I think you should watch him anyway. Just my opinion. And then if James Jones wants to like call me and hang out, that'd be cool too.